Hey Boyd, how you guys doing? So, few years ago, continuing playing catch up, I guess. So, as I stated in the last two vids, well, pretty much wearing the same outfit, so that's I can tell. I was out of town on a funeral, so away from my collection, so just watching things on the fly, so I'm just reporting them in as, well, and then while I'm preferring to work through my collection, there are still a lot of movies I would like to see and plenty I have not yet. So that's what this one was. So after having watched In Search of Darkness, all three of them, more than once, I ended up wanting to use as kind of a hit list for a couple movies that I would like to see. And most of them, really. Because 80s horror is something I really enjoy. And so I started scrolling through Shudder, see if any of them popped out at me for that was on that list, and found Mother's Day. Now I've heard of Mother's Day, and definitely it has a reputation for being a bit extreme. So, all right, let's go. This one's 1980, and it features a psycho mama whose adult kids are still very much act like kids, but they're grown men who do her bidding, mostly murder, rape, the like. We're in for a classy movie, guys. Okay, so the movie opens kind of showing that the mother's the crazy one, and her sons are just doing mostly just want to please their mama. The title Mother's Day is just to beat the title. It's not. I don't think it's actually Mother's Day at any point in this movie, but I digress. So we are following three girls who essentially they were best friends back in college, and they meet up once a year. They drop everything just to go on some random vacation that one of them picks, kind of a weekend out. Well, one of them chose poorly this time because they're going camping out in the woods, and where they're going camping happens to be, well, very near where Mama lives. So, so essentially, three girls, Trina, Abby, and Jackie, are just shooting the shit, talking about whether or not they should keep doing this, what their lives are like, how some of them are doing well, some are not. One's got an overbearing mother herself. Another is rich, but still is bored and just can't wait for these outings. Things like that. Well, the inevitable happens. They get found in the woods. They get hunted down and captured and dragged back to the house for unpleasant things to happen to them. I will say, given the reputation this movie has, I was expecting it to be worse than it actually was. Don't get me wrong, it is still graphic. And what happens to the young ladies, particularly the one that gets dragged off and played with, is bad. But a lot of it's done mostly bad by implication rather than outright what they're showing on screen. They do show some bad stuff still, but given what people have said about this movie, I was actually expecting it to be a bit more on that front. Not saying I was hoping it was, but I'm saying I was expecting it. This movie was made by Charles Kaufman, the brother of Lloyd Kaufman, so this one, it does feel kind of like a Troma movie, but it isn't a Troma movie. But Troma has now picked it up and distributed it, so it's become a Troma. And it definitely has that feel to it, particularly with the way the two brothers, Ike and Adley, are speaking to each other. Like the one scene where they're just debating between disco and punk. It feels like a Troma conversation. And the movie looks, and the way it's shot, feels very Troma. So, eventually, the girls worked on escaping, but that's not enough because they're not going to be able to get all the way out of here in the woods without being hunted down again, so they have to double back and take the fight back to them. So, sort of a Hills Have Eyes-esque vibe. Yeah. So, the revenge part is satisfying. The ending stinger, I don't know if it was necessary, but you kind of see it coming. It's one of those things where, I don't know if this is going to be a spoiler for a movie that's this old, but essentially, the whole time Mama is keeping the boys is around because she's so afraid of her sister, which you spend the whole movie not believing the sister is real because you think it's just how the mother keeps control of the kids. But as soon as the kids actually call her out on that is when my mind immediately flips and it's like, okay, the sister does actually exist. Yep. And then she does show up like right at the end. Is the stinger, so I was like, yeah, okay. And once they did do the whole back and forth with the kids, like, it felt like it did have to be there. But at the same time, I don't know if that whole plot line was necessary, but I don't know. So Mother's Day. I'll give it a 6 MacGuffins. It was definitely did what it came to do, which was be funny yet offensive, because the movie does have a good sense of humor about it. Like I said, it feels trauma. But yeah, it doesn't shy away and doesn't pull its punches. But I was expecting those punches to be a little harder than they actually were. Alright, anyway, that's pretty much all I got on Mother's Day. 6 MacGuffins. If you're into old school slashers, particularly ones with a sense of humor, give it a shot. Just be advised that yes, it does get rapey. So, trigger warning on that. Alright, Boyd. See you later.